This week in Get Fit, we are focusing on metabolism and how it impacts not just your weight, but your performance. Take Seattle's Jill Gardner. She is a champion rower. For years, she could not figure out why her hard work was not giving her the results that she wanted. Her metabolism was broken, and what she needed to do was to eat more and train less. She came to the sport late as a fierce competitor. At the age of 65, Jill Gardner is and always has been focused on winning. But early in her career, she thought the only way to do that was to ramp up her workouts and cut back on calories.
And I wasn't eating very much because I was trying to drop weight, and so I was training very hard, probably eating something like 1,800 calories a day.
That started Jill on a downhill slide of overtraining and underfueling. She got the results she wanted in the short term, winning nationals, but the thrill of victory was short-lived.
I probably gained weight faster than I ever have in my life. I was just like 10 pounds just packed on really, really fast. And that was kind of a start trying to get my metabolism kind of back and working again.
Wanting to improve her performance and get a handle on her broken metabolism, Jill went to Dr. Cooper. Blood labs showed that she was pre-diabetic, carb depleted. She barely ate any carbs, any bread, pasta, or rice, and rarely had she taken a break from training. Dr. Cooper said that she had to train less and eat more if she wanted to turn things around.
In fact, I have a husband who's 6'2", and I probably eat as much as he does, and he's a rower as well. But I just have a faster metabolism at this point, so it's really made a really big difference.
To say it made a big difference is an understatement.
This was sort of a fun medal because this was from this summer in Torino, Italy. Just because it was a really hard race, it was tight, I pulled it out, I had my best singles time of the year. It just like all came together.
And you came away with the gold. Just one of many. Jill holds the world record in the 500-meter erg sprint. She's in a training group with rowers 20 years her junior, and her medal count just keeps climbing.
I actually rode my single in 4 different age classes this year. And that's kind of a first.
How did you do?
Oh, I won all the races.
So Dr. Emily Cooper is joining us this morning, our Get Fit doctor, and the author of The Metabolic Storm, The Science of Your Metabolism and Why It's Making You Fat. Great to have you here. Okay, so when Jill first came to you, because she wasn't getting the results she wanted as a competitive rower, what kind of condition was she in?
Well, you know, this is really common, what was happening to Jill. And you know, I see this in many of the athletes who come to see me, this overtraining syndrome. Here she thought she was doing the right thing by cutting out carbs, eating less, following the paleo diet. But the harder she tried, the harder it was for her to make the weight class in her sport. And her performance wasn't improving. She wasn't recovering well after workouts, so she really didn't know what to do.
So where do you start when you're in this sort of phase where she was trying to get down to a certain weight to row at this certain level, but she was not getting where she wanted to go?
Yeah,
what do you do?
Blood work comes first, and her lab test showed a few things. First, she was in diet fog, so we couldn't see the whole picture until after that lifted. But we could see that her body wasn't recovering properly from the stressful workouts. And she had pushed herself so hard without enough fuel, without enough rest, and she had this complex problem called the selfish brain. This happens when the brain feels starved for carbohydrates, so it steals much of the glucose needed to fuel the whole body just for itself. And this glitch results in an abnormally elevated blood sugar level also. And so the brain can function, but it's at the expense of the body. So that's not good if you're an athlete trying to go faster. So her body started holding on to extra fat for protection and even pushed her towards prediabetes.
And in fact, she said that her weight shot up about 10 pounds really quickly.
Yes.
The most she'd ever gained in a short period of time ever in her life.
Right.
Okay, so what did she do to try to reverse this selfish brain thing,
Well,
which she told me took about a couple of years?
It took a while. She had to really work on her nutrition. She had to eat a lot more carbohydrates. She had to fuel the workouts really well. She also needed to take recovery days, which is hard for competitive athletes. And she had to train smarter instead of just longer workouts.
So she's had to eat more. She also had to exercise smarter, as you said, and the results have been phenomenal for her.
Phenomenal. She's done amazing. She just broke the 1,000-meter erg record as well.
1,000-meter erg race. She has a zillion medals to prove for it, and she's actually getting faster and faster.
She is. We have to keep monitoring, but she's doing incredibly well.
All right, so if you want to know more about this, go to our Get Fit page under Health link, and you can also read more about it in the Metabolic Storm, the science of your metabolism and why it's making you fat. King5.com is the place to go. Thanks, Dr. Emily Cooper.